Hi guys, today I'm doing a video about celebrities. I don't know if I've seen anyone do a video like this, but this is just like my favorite celebrities and why I love them. And you know, there's a lot of different reasons, and obviously I don't know any of these people, but these are just some of my favorite people who, when I see something from them, I'm interested in reading more or learning more about them. Obviously there's way more celebrities than what's on this list. I 100% forgot some. I'm gonna edit this and be like, oh darn, I forgot them. So if you don't like these people, I'm sorry, but if you do, then woohoo, we have something in common. But let's start. First person on my list is Alyssa Milano. Alyssa Milano played Phoebe on Charmed. She also played Sam on Who's the Boss, and from Who's the Boss, I think I've known her since then. I've always loved her from growing up at a young age. I adored her. She's someone that gave me a lot of confidence growing up. I love what she stands for. I follow her on Twitter now, and I think that her voice and just the way she kind of goes about things is very mature. And you know, she's definitely one of the celebrities that speaks out on politics, topics like that, and I think that's really important. And I think that people who think that celebrities and people like me and anyone who's not in politics shouldn't speak out about their opinions and what they believe in the truth and shouldn't share things is very ignorant and very kind of in denial. And I think that what she's doing is very brave, as many people have told me that the videos I've posted about politics are very brave. I don't find them to be brave. I think that they are necessary, and I think that that's something that a lot of people, more people should be doing. I know they're scared, they don't want to lose a fan base, and I'm sure she has. A lot of people I've seen on Twitter have hated on her and said, you know, I love doing Charm, but I cannot believe you're one of those celebrities. What does that even mean? Because she has an opinion, because she has a voice, because she deserves a place? I mean, half of the politicians also had other jobs at some point. Plenty of politicians, like some right now, are celebrities. So I just find it to be kind of ridiculous when people say things like that. I find her to be very articulate and very kind in the way that she goes about it. So I just really like that, and there's obviously other things about her I love. She's gorgeous too. Next is Hilary Duff. She is someone from a very young age that I think a lot of us, anyone who's my age, if you've watched Lizzie McGuire as a kid, she gave us some confidence. You know, she was relatable. She was weird and quirky and not the ideal. She wasn't, you know, what every single kid wanted to be, but she's what they were. I was kind of like a loser, and she kind of felt like that. She didn't have the highest self-esteem. She didn't think she was better than anyone else. She was just her, and she kind of had to learn how to embrace that, and it really helped me during that time to grow up and kind of, like, I feel like I grew up with her to a point. From there on, I followed her music, and now on Younger, I think she's amazing, and I follow her on social media, and her with her son is just the absolute cutest thing in the world. She's a celebrity I'll always support. Moving on, someone who I think everyone likes, and all the people who hate on her secretly love her, and that is Chrissy Teigen. She is just the best. She's very relatable, and not just in like a I'm a celebrity and I'm a relatable way, but in a I know I'm a celebrity, I know I have a lot of money and I can afford these luxuries that a lot of people, my fans, can't, but I'm still a normal person and I'm just living my life, and if people find me relatable, then they do. And I find that she doesn't try too hard. There's other celebrities that I find a lot of people think they're relatable, and I find them to be faking it, like they pretend like they're not rich. I just really like how she comes across and how she presents herself. She doesn't hold back. She just says what she feels and what she feels is important to say, and I'm very much like that as well. You guys have seen on my channel, if there's something I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to hold it back. I really appreciate that aspect of her. Next is Chris Wood, and also, you know, I love Chris Wood because he is like my favorite male actor, just purely based on his acting skills, his charm, and his gorgeous face and body and everything. Oh my god, I sound like a crazy person. I love him. I genuinely, like, he is one of those actors, no matter what role he's playing, I'm drawn to him. Everything I've seen him do, I've been so drawn in, and his character is so, like, whether he's playing an evil psychopath or like a cop who's trying to save everyone's life, or some kind of guy who used to be evil and now he's better, he just is so, he really can pull you in. And he's a really strong actor. I mean, I could see him winning Academy Awards. He's not only gorgeous, but he's a good actor, and I also really like him. Like, on social media, he's really funny, and I don't know, I really like him a lot. Moving on, Kat Graham. Kat Graham played Bonnie on Vampire Diaries. I don't know her for much else. She had some small roles years ago. She also is a singer. She has this really great balance of being the celebrity you idolize and you admire because she's so unbelievably gorgeous. Also one that you can look up to for her moral values and for the things that she stands for. And I really like that. She definitely has more dimension than you see with some celebrities. Moving on, Ian Somerhalder. He obviously is an amazing actor. I love him in Vampire Diaries. He is so passionate about the environment and global warming and animals, and he's obviously, like I said, talented and gorgeous, but he is so unbelievably passionate about those things, and not in a super annoying way. He's just, he wants people to understand, you know, he really wants people just to know that these things are happening and we need to do something about it, because if we don't, things aren't going to be good, and things aren't good now, and they're just going to keep getting worse. And he has a really great way of showing that, and you know, he's used his publicity and his ginormous fame to help, and I think that's really amazing. Sarah Hyland. Okay, Sarah Hyland, I always thought she was unbelievably gorgeous, but if you follow her on Twitter, she's really, really funny. She actually says things that I've wanted to say before or thought of. There's not many celebrities who do that. Just follow her on Twitter and you'll like see what I mean. Next one, I hope I'm saying her name right, but that is Amy Carrero. She plays Sophia in Young and Hungry. She is so strong. She's like that perfect balance of not taking herself too seriously but also really taking herself seriously. So she knows what's important and she talks about it and she brings it up and isn't afraid to hold back. I find very many celebrities, you know, they hint at things and they kind of talk about them, but they kind of pull back where they're afraid there might be backlash. She is not afraid of the backlash. She is all about going right into the main point, talking about it, like starting a conversation, but she also keeps it light. She doesn't make it deep and hard to swallow. Next, John Krasinski. I just love him. I find his character in The Office to be very close to how he is in real life. I don't know why. I think maybe that's just me projecting onto that, but I've seen him in interviews and stuff and he's really, really, really funny. And I just enjoy him. That one was a simple one, but he's just like the kind of guy you think you want to be friends with. Like if you met John Krasinski, don't you think you'd just be like, hey buddy? Right? Next, Jensen Ackles. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I love Dean Winchester. Let's just put that out there. I love Supernatural, and so that's kind of how I knew about him. And followed him on social media, and he just has this quality about him that's so loving, and he cares about his family so much. I think that whole cast actually really takes what they have from that show and their following and makes it such a positive thing. The Supernatural fandom, no matter how many things people differ in opinions on, it's a very positive space, and they've really taken hold of that and made it even more positive. And I feel like he's been like a front runner in that, but obviously everyone else too, but I just also think he's gorgeous. So him along with Misha Collins. Misha Collins though is hilarious. I mean, if you follow him on YouTube, he posts some really funny stuff, and he's also very much of an activist, I would say. He also uses the fame he has for a good cause, and I think that's amazing. Next, Selena Gomez, and this is recent because I never watched, was it Wizards of Waverly Place? I never watched that. Very recently, like the last couple of years, I've really gotten into her music, and she's obviously gorgeous, and she definitely, I think, is so young, and she's had to find how she wants to come across while coming across anyway, if that made sense. But I found that she did it with such grace, and even though she wasn't perfect, and I'm sure she admits that she's made mistakes, the interviews I've seen with her are just so like raw, and she's just very trying her best to have as much of a normal life as possible. And some celebrities I don't think do that, and I think that's fine, you know, whatever floats your boat, but I like how she's decided to come across. Chris Pratt, everyone must love Chris Pratt, right? I mean, if you don't, I don't know. From Parks and Rec to before Parks and Rec to all the movies he was doing to now all the movies he's been doing and being like a main character, he's so good. I like him a lot in action movies. I like him a lot in serious movies. I like him a lot in comedies. He just is so well-rounded. He's like the white Will Smith. I love him. He's hilarious. You've seen him post on social media. He's so funny. He's so loving of his wife and like his family, but he's hilarious at the same time. And I don't know, I find him just to be like a nice breath of fresh air, and whenever he's in a movie, I am so drawn to see it just because I know he will make it. Ryan Gosling, obviously he's an amazing actor. He has one of those qualities to him that just really draws you in. He has done a couple movies that I wasn't so drawn in by, but I don't think that was because of him. It was more of just the movie in general. But he is definitely one of those actors that has that thing, you know, I don't even know how to describe it, but if you like him, obviously you know. But also just the way he always has this sense about him. He's very, very charming. I find with him that he uses his charm to make people feel better, not to make himself higher, right? That doesn't he come across that way. Next is one of my all-time favorite actresses in the history of the world, and I'm sure none of you will guess, and go ahead and pause it and guess right now. Go ahead, because you're not going to guess it. That is Sally Field. She is just everything. Sally Field is like such a girl crush of mine from such a young age. I mean, maybe before Mrs. Doubtfire. I just love Sally Field so much. Her acting is amazing, and knowing what she's gone through in her life, seeing her in ER, just so many, oh my god, I'm gonna start tearing up. This is the problem. She is just such a strong woman, and she can set such an example for so many people, and she has, and she's just such an inspiration. And you know, taking what she's been through in her life and just like putting it back into the world in such a positive way. And Brothers and Sisters was one of my favorite shows, and you know, she pulled that cast up and just lifted it in the core of that show. And I just really love her, from her acting to interviews I've seen her do and articles I've read about her. She has this, I'm not perfect, no one is, but I'm trying to help with what I can, and it's great. And she's just living her life, and I love her. And the last one is Cole Sprouse. Recurring love for him in Riverdale. He's a great actor. I mean, as an adult, I find many child actors to suck as adults, but he is beyond amazing. I want to say he's like the strongest actor on that show, next to Luke Perry. But I've seen him do interviews recently, and I was blown away by how bright and educated he is. I mean, he is so smart, and he really comes across as not being stuck up about it. And he's very funny. I mean, follow him on Twitter and Instagram. He's hilarious. And he's one of those actors who I find to just be very close to like Leonardo DiCaprio. You know, they have this very funny quality about them, and they're very talented. And I mean, very, very talented, but they also don't take themselves too seriously, but they talk about what's important. And I think that that's really great. And he's gorgeous too. So those were some of the celebrities I just really love. Obviously there's so many more, but I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know who your favorite celebrities are and why. So I will see you guys in my next video. Please subscribe if you haven't already and you want to see more from me. Give this a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.